Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with CircWorks, and today is Friday, so it's Fan Art Friday. Actually, doing this one on a Friday. Sometimes I try to get them done on Thursday, but I've been super busy, so didn't get that done. So this one might be kind of a rush. I don't know how long it'll take me to do this one. It's not quite as detailed, or it's pretty straightforward pose. But yeah, this is I got a request to do a series of either Doctor Who or Sherlock characters. I don't know if I can dedicate a whole series to these, but I definitely wanted to get one in, and this one was a request by I think it's like Kung Fu, but it was spelled KNGFU on the YouTube. So thank you for the suggestion. So this is the current Doctor Who, the current Doctor, I guess I should say, and Peter Capaldi, I guess the 12th Doctor. I'm not, super up on Doctor Who. I actually just recently got into it, believe it or not. So yeah, my girlfriend was always a big fan of it, so she's been trying to get me to get into it, and my only exposure kind of to Doctor because if you're at all a geek at all, I mean Doctor Who, and you know certain things like what a Dalek is and all that kind of stuff just from being at conventions and just being around that and other people that are into it. But I had always just I remember Doctor Who from when I was a kid, and it was on it was on PBS or something like that, and back in the 80s. And that was the time, I was big into Star Wars and stuff, and it just wasn't my type of sci-fi, I guess. So I kind of stayed away from it for a while, and but yeah, so I actually watched. Haven't seen this whole season, but most of it I missed maybe 2 or 3 episodes, just because I don't have cable, so I would watch it over my girlfriend's, and then she wouldn't want to wait for me, so she'd watch a few of them and then erase them and everything. But oh wow, is that getting like super dark for my shadow? Weird. I've got a light here. I thought that was helping out, but maybe that's making it worse. I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Let me turn that light off and see if it makes any difference. No, that's kind of dark. Anyway, well, we'll do the best we can with what we got, I guess. But no, yeah, I got into it. She showed me this article. It was like Doctor Who for Beginners or something that was in Entertainment Weekly, and showed me a couple episodes that I should watch, and from previous series, and yeah, they were pretty good. I got into it. It was I enjoyed kind of the different like creatures, and I enjoyed some of the ideas, really creative ideas, and a little bit of a Twilight Zone type feel to it as far as just mysteries and just the way things are kind of twisted. And a lot of the creatures and things like in the adversaries were really, I just thought really interesting and creepy, and had a real creepy vibe to it, which I wasn't, I didn't really know what to expect. But yeah, so I may, it's possible I may get converted into a huge Doctor Who fan, but yeah, I enjoyed it. My problem is just finding time to watch stuff like that. So, but anyway, so yeah, and like I said before, I mean, Doctor Who is just huge in fan circles and things like that. So it's kind of always been around me, and I remember I've done a few like t-shirt designs, and I've got a few like pop culture prints and things like that, and a few mashups and things like that, which are popular. And I was talking to this guy who owns a sort of a comic book store slash uh, kind of toy museum, and he was gonna start one of these T-shirt companies and everything. So I was talking to him for a while, and and I showed him kind of the designs I had, and some of them he was into, some of them not so much, and he kept trying to convince me, oh, you gotta do something with Doctor Who, or mash up Doctor Who with the minions from Despicable Me and all this. And I'm like, yeah, that's not. I don't really want to do things that I'm not really familiar with, because I think there's, you know, I think when you're doing fan art and stuff, you kind of should have a little bit of a passion for what you're doing, not just what's super popular. And at that time, I didn't know much about Doctor Who, so I didn't really think I could give it much, do it justice, because I wasn't really a fan. So, it would just be me doing it just to try to, you know, do something that was popular at the time or whatever. And just some of the ideas were just, I don't know. You see a lot of these mashups, and some of them are really great, some of them are clever and everything, but a lot of them are just, let's take two things that have, hold on, I got a little text here. I've got to close that out. Okay, sorry. Let's just take two things and mash them up together that really have nothing to do with each other, and there's not a whole lot of creativity or thought behind it. I've got a few mashups. Like I did one super popular at like conventions and things, and it sold a lot of prints and things for me. But it was Tron Burgundy, so it's like Ron Burgundy and mashed up with Tron. So he's got the classic Ron Burgundy suit, but it's got all the lights and everything on it, and it had a couple things going for it, I think. One of them, obviously, is the play on words, Tron Burgundy. I mean, right there, that's something. I mean, there's a little bit of a connection there, just because alliteration and all that stuff. But the other thing, if you've ever seen the poster for both Tron and Ron Burgundy, you've got Tron kind of hand on his hips. Same thing with Ron Burgundy. The posters are kind of similar, so it worked, kind of mashing those up together. It just worked, like it looked like it went together. At least I think so. And then I've done other ones. I did another one where I kind of mashed up Back to the Future and like Batman. And what I did was I kind of made like a car crash with both the Batmobile and the DeLorean time machine, and like Batman and Doc Brown are sitting out in front of the cars, like arguing like who caused the accident and everything like that, which I thought that was kind of a clever idea, just because you're taking probably two of the most iconic cars in movie history and putting those together. So I think there has to be more to it than just mashing two ideas up that are unrelated. So I've seen some that are just that, and then I've seen some that are a little more clever. So I kind of, after talking to the guy and it just, and also, the deal kept getting a little bit worse, as far as, first it was like better than anyone else was offering, and then after a while it seemed like they just wanted it for free and to give me a couple bucks for the shirts, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm not gonna do that. So but yeah, I just was kind of turned off by that, because in order for me to do something, sorry, I'm covering everything, like that, I've kind of got to have sort of a feel for whatever the property is or whatever, and kind of be a fan of it myself, and for it to make sense to do a mashup like that. But anyway, oh, and by the way, if you are interested in any of those prints I talked about, you can find them. They're on my Redbubble, and I think I've got a Redbubble and a TeePublic site. I haven't got anything from the I haven't really ordered anything from TeePublic, but I did order a Redbubble shirt, and the quality was I was pretty surprised. They're a little more expensive than the TeePublic, so I can't really speak to that one. Um, but yeah, they're up there, and I don't know how you. If you go, I guess if you go to my website, there's a contact section, and then from there it lists all the different links to everything that I do. That's probably the easiest way. But you know, if you search Circworks on Redbubble or TeePublic, you'll find those shirt designs, or there's prints available on my store site at circworks.com if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Yeah, Christmas is coming up. um, but anyway, so yeah, so getting a little more into Doctor Who, finding I'm enjoying it. So I might, you know, if I can find some time, might go back and watch some of the um, other episodes and things like that. So it took me a while, but I can definitely see why it has such a big following, because it is a, you know, very creative show. Very, you know, like I said, the creepy factor is kind of what I liked about it, which is weird because my girlfriend who introduced me to it really doesn't like to be creeped out at all. She doesn't watch horror movies or anything. I can't get her trying to get her to watch Alien, but it's like pulling teeth. So she says she has to watch it like in daylight and everything like that. And like, that's no fun. But so anyway, but yeah. So I just picked this particular Doctor, one because he's the most current one, and he's the one I'm familiar with because that's kind of where I started watching it. So um, I know some of the other Doctors may have, so visually they might work a little better as far as they've got like the, you know, you see all the 3D glasses and the fez hats and the bow ties and all that stuff, but um, I just thought I'd do this one, and maybe I'll do more. I can guarantee you, though, if I brought this to a convention, it'd probably sell. You know, this is, everyone always asks, "Do you have any Doctor Who? Do you have any?" Because I'll, you know, have a thing out with some of my original sketches, and "You have any Doctor Who?" First, no, I don't have any Doctor Who. Sorry. So, so I'll bring this along, and we'll see what happens. Once I was doing Firefly is another big one, which is that's something I was familiar with and I did watch and enjoy. So. But I think most of those I actually did at a show. I was just sketching Firefly, and some guy came along and wanted to buy every single one I had. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, which, you know, back to the old debate about fan art and original art and stuff like that. And I don't know. The original sketches I think are a little different because they're original. It's not like I'm mass producing these things, even though. And this is just my opinion on this stuff, you know, and it's just my own. Applies to me, and I don't care, you know, what anyone else does as far as what their thoughts. I mean, I don't. That came out wrong. I'm not saying I don't care what you do. like I could care less. Um, but just for me, I mean, something like this, I wouldn't do a print of, because it's not. I mean, it's kind of doing the Doctor in kind of my style or whatever. If I have a style, I don't know. But you know, certain mashups and certain things like that I do, I definitely see more as a parody because it's humorous and there's a gag to it and everything like that. And it's not, to me, it's not unlike something you would see in a Mad magazine, like when they do the, you know, spoofs on movies and things like that. So, so that's kind of my opinion on that. But for me, something like this, I you know, I don't have a huge problem about selling the originals. I wouldn't make a print of something like this and sell it because it's obviously, it's not, to me, it's not a parody. It's just my version, you know, my interpretation of the Doctor, which, you know, it's a weird thing because I love to see this kind of stuff. You know, when I'm walking around conventions, I love to see other people's interpretations of characters and things like that. And a lot of my favorite artists do that kind of stuff. And you know, like I said, I mean, I'm doing this right now, so I mean, I can't really say much about it, but I just, you know, you wish there'd be more, kind of more interest in your own, personal work. But people don't know that, and you know, it kind of helps to do these type of videos, to be perfectly transparent, just to get more eyes on your stuff. People are going to search for, how to draw Doctor Who, even though this isn't a how to draw, or just stuff like that. Whereas they're not going to search for like my comic, like Young and the Dead, because they've never heard of it. So, but anyway, so what else is going on this week? I've been thinking, and if I might retread some stuff that I talked about on what was it on my 100 Days of Making Comics update. But yeah, I've been thinking seriously about getting a graphics tablet, the kind you draw on. Like, this is actually, I don't know, you probably can't even tell, but I've got like a under this paper, I've got like a Wacom drawing tablet that you just draw on the tablet, and it appears on the screen. But I'm actually want to get something similar to a Cintiq where I can actually draw on the screen. So I've been researching that, and there's a new one that came out that got pretty good reviews. Ray Frendon is a guy who you guys may be familiar with. He does a lot of these reviews. He's probably the topmost guy doing reviews on these graphic tablets and things like that. But he reviewed this one by Monoprice, and I bought just a regular Monoprice tablet a while back for my son. Just as a cheap, I was trying to get him set up as far as stuff that he could draw with, and I don't know if he uses it that much. I'm still trying to, it takes a while to get used to drawing on a tablet that's separate from the screen and having it work, and there's a little bit of learning curve, and I don't know that he wanted to do that, so he's still kind of just trying to do stuff with the mouse and everything, which mostly Illustrator stuff, which is a little easier to do with the mouse because you're drawing with curves and all that stuff. But anyway, so I got on this tablet Monoprice, and it was super cheap, really. And I tried it out. And man, I don't remember the shadow being this bad before. Let me see if I could move this around or something. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about that. I've got to get a different setup here. And maybe if I get a drawing tablet, I can just do screen captures and do some of that stuff. But I do want to kind of do the original stuff as well. I mean, as far as traditional artwork. So what was I saying? I don't know. Yeah, so the Monoprice has a new tablet out, the drawing, like on-screen drawing tablet monitor. And I was looking at it, and Ray Frendon gave it a very favorable review, even better than this other one that I've been looking at. Or maybe it was just because the price was even less than, definitely less than a Cintiq, but there's another one called the Unova, and they've got a couple different models. They've got a 19-inch and a 22-inch, I think. But in looking at the Monoprice tablet, it appears that you can't have like a dual monitor setup, or more than one monitor setup with that on Windows anyway. I guess the Mac works, but I work on Windows, so that doesn't really help me, and I kind of got accustomed to having my multiple monitors. So I'm back to thinking about the Unova model, because the Cintiq, and I've been going back and forth, and I was about to get the Unova, and then certain artists, there's a lot of, like I said, favorable reviews for that, even from Ray Frendon as well. But Kevin Cross, who you've probably heard me mention him plenty of times because he started the 100 Days of Making Comics. He had some issues with his, or he's having some issues with his, and I guess he doesn't even like to draw on it. Just like he likes to, he said coloring works great, but not so much the drawing. But he admitted to me that even most people don't share his opinion on that. That most people have a problem with it. So I don't know. I've got another friend who just got one, and I'm kind of to wait to see what his feedback was. Um, oh, by the way, that the other guy is Daniel Davis. He has a company called SteamCrow that you guys should all check it out. Go to steamcrow.com. He does really cool, friendly type monsters, and I don't. Well, I guess they're friendly. It's hard. You have to kind of see it. It's very like vectorish style art, and like I said, you kind of have to go there and see what he's doing. But he's one of these guys that goes from convention to convention and has really made a success out of it. So he's in a lot of ways he's sort of a mentor to me, even though I haven't done as many shows recently as I'd like to. But he definitely knows what he's doing, and always got great ideas. So somebody I definitely like to follow and talk to, and pick his brain here and there about stuff. But anyway, so he just got a tablet, and he's one of these guys that was illustrating everything with a mouse. So for him to kind of go from a mouse to a drawing tablet, that's a big step. It's probably not. It's probably easier to go from drawing with a mouse or drawing by hand to like a screen monitor type tablet than it is like the regular, like a Bamboo or a Intuos or something like that. Just because when you work on those, like I said, there is a little bit of disconnect and a little bit of learning curve to try to draw on one surface while looking at another. And I got used to it, but I think if you were just to go straight from either traditional or whatever way you're doing it to drawing on a tablet monitor, I think that would be a fairly easy transition. So, but the verdict's still out. I kind of want to hear what he has to say after he's been working with it a little bit. And like I said, there's a bunch of other reviews online, and I've been watching those. But I think just because the monitor setup thing, I think I might end up going with a Nova. And I thought about, well, what about it like a used Cintiq, but you kind of run a risk on those just because I've even seen some that have like a bit of a warranty left on them, but I might look further into that. But I don't know. I just don't know if I want to drop $2,024 on a tablet monitor, even though everyone that's got them that's professional says it's one of the best choices they've made. And a great investment, which I totally understand. I'm kind of gun shy about pulling the trigger on something like that. That's kind of a big investment. I'm sure it would pay for itself and everything, but so yeah. So hopefully, and also I was looking back over kind of my goals and things for this year, and that was one of the things that was on it was to kind of go digital. So I'm thinking I might want to do that before the year ends, just so I want to kind of revisit all my goals and see if I can, any goals that I haven't really reached yet, I want to see if it's possible to do that. And most of them I kind of have, which is good. And then I got to start thinking about goals for next year, a lot of them will probably center around the YouTube channel and stuff like that, and doing more conventions and things, So I really want to start doing more conventions. I've got one coming up December. It's called Phoenix Fan Fest, coming up December 12th through the 14th, I believe. So I'm gonna start setting up for that, and then I've got the only other one that I already have purchased is next year's Phoenix Comic Con. But I want to do more, and so my girlfriend has friends from Denver that came in, and I guess she went to high school with one of these guys, and so what we did was they came over to visit a bunch of friends that lived here in Arizona, and kind of made the rounds and everything like that. And so they stayed at my girlfriend's and everything. And she had mentioned them before. She was like, if we do Denver, I have friends in Denver that we could stay at. And that's always very helpful because lodging is pricey, and I've been wanting to do these other shows, and that's one of the good things that if I do these shows, because like I'd like to do Rose City in Portland, and my girlfriend just went to Portland, and she loved it, and she was telling me I wish I could have gone, but I've never been there, but I have family in Portland, so they've offered a place to stay, so I could stay there. If I do Denver, now that I've met these other guys, I could stay at their place. They offered that, and they wanted us to come up there, but Denver's a bit of a drive, so I don't know if we could fly. And I wouldn't mind driving, but my girlfriend, I don't know that she can take that. I wouldn't ask her to take that much time off work to drive there and drive back and all that stuff. Plus, Denver is always the week before or the week after Phoenix, so that's like 2 shows within a week like that. So, but I do want to do it because I hear so many good things about it. Oh, you know what? I should switch to I'm going to switch to a thicker brush for this color inside this stuff. But I guess I should backtrack. So, the other show I want to do is Tucson Comic Con, which was just this past weekend, and I happened to be in Tucson because, like I said, we met these friends of my girlfriend. And we all went up to Tucson because they have other friends there, and we kind of hung out with them. And while this was going on was the Tucson Comic Con, and I was like, kind of wanted to go check it out, but it just was like a last minute thing. So, but that's another show I want to do, and so I have friends in Tucson now that I can stay with to do that. So it'd be very helpful. It's helpful to know people at the different places you're staying with. So I can definitely make a go of it. It's okay. My camera on my phone just cut out again, froze up or whatever. I didn't lose too much, but yeah, I don't know what's causing that. So I might have to switch back to doing these with my webcam if this continues to be a problem. And like I said, now I've got this shadow thing, which I don't know why the hell that is. But yeah, so I was talking about doing different shows and everything. So I got friends in Tucson now. I got places to stay. So I just got to figure out, how to do the travel and all that kind of stuff, and make it work. So I'm not losing money doing these shows. I know a lot of people that do them all the time, so I'm gonna start asking around and seeing what they recommend. And some people said, like, when you're doing the flying shows, you pack as much stuff as you can into your suitcase and everything. Don't bring a lot of clothes or whatever like that. Just as minimal as possible, and just pack all your stuff with your products and things like that. And then you can also like ship certain things, like in those like the the post office has those if it fits, it ships type deal, where you can, whatever you can pack into their box, it's a flat rate. That's what I was trying to think of. So yeah, we'll see. That's but I definitely want to do more shows. So, and I want to get out. I know that now doing these Artcast things, I know people in these other cities and stuff, and I'm assuming since they're into comic books type stuff, that they either attend these shows or exhibit at these shows. So it would be cool to meet some of these people. Because right now it's just kind of all the local people that I get to meet. But we'll see. We'll see what happens next year, if I can swing some of this stuff. But So yeah, in addition to that, the other thing I've been thinking of, and I don't know who all is watching this, but if anyone can help me at all with this, please let me know. So, as you know, I'm doing these videos and everything, and I've just been editing them on in Windows Movie Maker, which is a program I really like. It's very simple, very easy to use, and it's free. And for that, it's a great program, but it's got its limitations. So I was looking at other free things that, there's certain things I want to do. Like I want to be able to do like something where I can superimpose artwork over the video and stuff like that, which I can't do in Windows Movie Maker. That's one of the main things. There's some other things that I want to be able to do as well, but for the most, that's one big thing. So I was looking at other, free versions, and I found one that I was kind of using, but it looks like it'll do the trick, but I don't know, the interface is a little, I don't know the word for it. It's just not, it's a little harder to get used to, and it's not as attractive. You don't really get to see, it's like the actual thumbnails of what you're doing. It's not as cut and pasty as like a Windows Movie Maker. So I want to find one, and so I'm probably gonna have to buy something. And I've heard a lot of people say they use this Sony Vegas, and I think Kenny Keene, if you're watching this, I thought you mentioned that's what you use. I think that's what Jeff Lafferty uses too. So I was thinking about that, and then I looked, and I think the cheapest one was like $500, which I didn't know that was the case. I don't know if I want to spend that much on that, but I've seen some other ones around in the $50 range or whatever. What was the one I forgot what it was called. Let me see if it's still on my. Oh man, hold on a second. I think it's on one of my windows on my. Okay, this is it Power Director? It looks like it got pretty good reviews. I don't know if any of you guys look at that, but what I'm looking for is something that's easy to use, but has quite a bit of features if you want. The problem is like things like Premiere and stuff, that's a little intimidating. Plus it's very pricey, but then there's Premiere Elements, which is kind of a scaled down version of that. But I just want something that's simple, that's fairly simple if you're just a beginner, and that you can pick up fast if you're like used to Windows Movie Maker, but that has other features and things that you can kind of grow and learn along with it if you want to do more. So this Power Director looked like a good program. I don't know if anyone's used that, or if anyone else has any other like video editing software that you can recommend. And I'm looking for something probably around $100 or less, I think is what I'm wanting to spend. So if you got any suggestions, please let me know, because I want to start editing, working on stuff for this new video series I'm doing, and just a lot of it I can't do in Windows Movie Maker, and this other program that I downloaded. I forgot what it was called. I should look at it. Hold on. I think is it Free Video Editor, I think is the other one. It's not bad, but it's, I'm almost thinking I want to spend a little bit of money and get something. So I should talk to my brother, because he does a lot of video editing and stuff like that, and I forgot what the program he used was, but because I think he stopped using it, and I figured I could just use his, but there was something weird with the license or something. I don't know. Is my thing. I'm just checking to see if it's still working after it froze the other time. Because I know I deleted all the other videos off my camera, so there'd be room to record this. And now I forgot, because I started over. I was going to look at the time to see how much time's gone by, because I don't want to take too long on these. But since it started over, I didn't check what time the other one ran for, so we'll see. But yeah, so I could ask him, but he's just used to using one particular, you know, software, and it's, I think the one he has is kind of pricey. So it's kind of like, you know, people ask, you know, I use Illustrator, and people ask me, you know, about like something like Inkscape, and I hear great things about it. I think that's the Illustrator, the kind of the open source Illustrator alternative. And it's like, I don't know really how to speak to that, because I'm used to Illustrator, and because I have it, it doesn't really make sense for me to learn the other, to take the time to learn the other one. And I know it's, you know, it would be easy for, like, if I was going to do an Illustrator tutorial or something, or like a vector tutorial, probably be easier to do a tutorial like that in like an Inkscape or something that everyone has access to, because not everyone has Illustrator. So it's kind of, you know, you're able to teach more people how to do stuff if it's a program that everyone has access to. But, you know, I just don't want to take the time to learn a software when I already have another one that does what I need it to do and everything, even though, you know, it's expensive, but I already have it. So we're getting there in this. Oh, I probably want to do, yeah, I wanted to color in some of these backgrounds as well. So again, if you have any suggestions on video editing software or whatever, let me know. Yeah, and also I'm on the PC, if that makes any difference. I think I mentioned that before, but like, you know, iMovie, I've got iMovie on my phone, and I was doing some stuff with that, but I want something that's like a desktop program, because I do most of my work on the desktop. So yeah, I wanted to, again, I got a lot of suggestions this time around for different characters and stuff, so that's cool. That's what I've been kind of looking for. So if I didn't get to your suggestion, I apologize. I know now there was a guy, Adam Eli, who requested Green Arrow, and I was thinking about doing that, but I didn't, you know, I'm guessing he was talking about maybe the one from the TV show, which I'm not as familiar with, and I kind of like the look of the comic book one with the, you know, the kind of the Robin Hood hat, and, you know, the crazy mustache and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of want to do that. I don't know if that's what he was talking about, but it sounded like I get these alerts and stuff when people comment on my, you know, YouTube page or whatever. And for some reason, sometimes it doesn't allow me to respond to them, you know, because I try to reply to pretty much everyone that leaves a comment. Sometimes if somebody just says cool, I don't reply. I might say thanks, but it's kind of hard to, you know, what do you say? You know, if somebody has like a question or a little bit elaborate. I mean, I appreciate everyone if you say cool and stuff like that, but sometimes I don't really know what to add to that. Thanks. You know. So you end up writing a lot of thanks. But some people leave a comment and everything, and I want to get back to them, but for whatever reason, there's no reply button. And I don't know if it has something to do with Google Plus or something weird like that. If you have to be a friend on something or following. Maybe you have to be following my YouTube channel or something weird like that. But anyway, I did get some comments from this Adam Eli, and I think he said that he was doing the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge, and I got the kind of the alert with his comment and a link to his page, but it wouldn't let me click on it. I think it might have thought it was spam or everything, something. So I apologize, Eli, or Adam, sorry, that I couldn't respond to your post. It just wouldn't let me, and I tried to visit the link. It looked like it didn't look like I went to the went to your YouTube channel, but I didn't. There weren't any videos or anything on there. So it looked like you might be doing a blog of the 100 days, but it wouldn't let me gain access to the blog for whatever reason. So I don't know if there's any other way to get to that. If you let me know, I'll definitely check out what you're doing with the 100 days, because I'm always trying to encourage people to do, the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge. And, last week, Kenny wrapped his up. Hannes Wick he's doing his. I don't know who else is really going, full force with it. I know, let's see, like Farrell Boulding, he was doing it, but I don't know if he doesn't do that many updates and things. So, or at least I haven't checked out his site in a while, so I have to check and see if he has any updates. But yeah, so anyway, I really want other people to start doing it, so it'll keep going, But so I definitely want to check that out. If there's another way to link me to that, let me know. But yeah, as far as suggestions, yeah, keep them rolling in. It's always good to have some different things to choose from, and like the more I do these, the more people will suggest something, and it's going to be harder for me to choose from. I'm waiting on some ink to come in. I might have mentioned this last time, but now that kind of a segue, but now's the time I wonder if I should like speed stuff up, because right now I'm just filling in blacks. It's, unless you're interested in what I have to say, it's not, as far as the drawing portion of the inking portion, there's really a whole lot going in. But anyway, I just lost my train of thought. This is one of those days. It's still a little early on a Friday. I've got some work to do, and forgot what I was talking about. Let's see, I was talking about the 100 days, and then I was talking about suggestions. Maybe that's what it was. Anyway, whatever. Send your suggestions in. No, that was something else. Everyone watching this what I was talking about, because I was just talking about it. And you're probably like, oh, that telling me, but I can't hear you guys, so maybe it'll come to me. Anyway. What else? I don't know. Oh, ink. Yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, I ordered some manga ink, which is supposed to work better with the Copic markers and not smudge them. So I'm waiting for that to come in. I think it's shipping from Japan, so I don't know exactly when it'll be here. Although I've had stuff shipped from China and got it like right away, which was weird. So, but I'm anxious to check out that ink, because I've been wanting to. I want to start doing some more sketch cards, color sketch cards with like markers and stuff on these Fan Art Fridays. And I was doing those before, and I was usually just doing like headshots, which are a little easier, and I can get a lot more done. So for some of these, that people want like a series of things, like whether it's G.I. Joe or whatever, it might make sense to do those as sketch cards, which I'd like to get back into doing. I guess these are, I don't know what you would call these. They're not really sketch cards because they're a bigger size. And this is a bigger, this is a little larger size than I used to work a lot smaller, and I kind of switched to this larger size for these cards. So I don't know. Seems a little more comfortable with it. Plus, it's easier to cut out because it's just, I've got the, what is it, 9 by 12, I think? 9 by 12 inches US, and then if you're anywhere else in the world, 22.9 by 30.5 centimeters. But so these ones I can just cut right in half equally. The other ones are kind of, it's to cut. It's an odd size, so I end up having a lot of extra, which I use as my, this thing where I just ink on the page to make sure I don't have too much ink. But oh, and yeah, this I need to get this this CD with these videos from the Halloween haunt that I did. I keep wanting to post another Mad Props with that, but so hopefully this weekend I can have a chance to get down to my friend's brother who took those videos and get that. He put it on a CD for me, but I just haven't seen him, so I've gotta go pick those up because I definitely, it's getting further and further away from Halloween, and by the time I actually post this, no one's really gonna care. So everything else is all ready to go. I've edited everything else. I just need to drop in those videos. So hopefully I'll have that next week. We're getting close to wrapping these up. I'm gonna throw some stars and stuff in here, and I was thinking I ordered a pack of these Col-Erase red pencils. So I know he's got kind of a red, I don't know, the liner of his jacket's red, and that's kind of, I think that's kind of like one of his defining kind of costume characteristics. Like I said before, some of the other guys have they've got the bow ties and or the fezzes and stuff like that. So with this guy, that's kind of his, trademark, I guess, I'm thinking I might fill that in. Oh, I forgot, there's another kind of cosmic spacey type piece here. Cosmic Cloud, I guess. Kirby Crackle. This one's not as crackly as I usually do. A little smoother. Alright, so let me wash this off real quick. And you know what? I don't know where my white pen is. I gotta find my pouch with this. Let me pause this here real quick. Alright, I'm back. Got my pen here. It's not working. Come on. I don't know how long. I love this pen, but I don't know how much ink it holds or how much more I can get out of it. Yeah, these gel pens are pretty awesome. Oh, that was kind of wet. It's picking up. Seems like it's picking up some of the black there. You can't get, you can't get really of a tapered look to it too much, but it's a lot easier than the brush with the Pro White. And you have to, because I don't have a separate brush for my Pro White, you always have to wash it so well to make sure every little bit of black is off of that thing, or else you'll be painting with some grays. And unless that's what you're going for, it doesn't really work. So let's see if there's any. Start putting some stars in here. I guess I should have probably thrown the TARDIS in the background somewhere, but oh well. That would have taken me probably a lot longer because there's so many angles. I probably would have had to get the straight edge out and do all that stuff. right. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little red in here for his jacket. Usually I keep these black and white. You know what? Well, I was thinking about scanning it, but oh well. You know, a little color's not going to hurt. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This one seems weird, a little different than the other time I used the Cola Erase marker, but I was doing a lot of sketching with these. I've been working on some creature designs for a video game, and I was really kind of enjoying these to sketch with, the red, because I usually sketch with the blue pencil, and then I have to, when I scan it to show the client and everything, I always have to mess with the levels and everything so it shows up. So, but with the red I don't really have to do that. Yeah, I don't know if it looks a little out of place. Maybe I should just use some of the red in here also, just to don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I already started it, so. This is, I don't know if you guys, if you're familiar with Jake Parker, but he does a lot of his stuff with a red pen like this, and it always looks it looks really cool. So mine's not looking so great. But oh well, I'm just going to keep it simple, not add too much to it. So I think I'm always better with black and white colors. You know, I always get nervous with colors if I am adding too much or what. But anyway, I'm going to do a little, maybe some of these planets could use a little red. Can't stop now. Anyway, I think I'll call this one done. Maybe you should let me sign my name on it. And so anyway, thanks for checking out another Fan Art Friday. As always, go ahead and send me those suggestions. We'll see if we can get to it for the next one. And thanks for liking the videos and commenting. And any of those questions I threw out about, you know, any of your experience with the drawing tablets or the video editing software, please let me know if you guys have any suggestions. I really appreciate it. So that's going to do it for today. I'll see you when I see you, and that is all.